How do you give your characters their own dialect without inventing an entire complicated language? You need a conslang, something to create the feeling of distinct language for your fantasy or sci-fi game or novel setting without actually going full conlang. I'm Janet from World Anvil, a professional world-building consultant, published game author and game writer, and in this video I'm going to share some practical ways to make conslangs. So grab your fracking hammer and let's do some goddamn world building. A conlang, short for constructed language, is a fictional language created for a world, often with its own grammar, syntax, and vocabulary. Think Quenya from Tolkien, Dothraki from Game of Thrones, and Klingon from Star Trek. These unique languages add flavour and depth to your fictional setting, and richness to character dialogue. To be clear, I love me a good conlang. But not everyone has the time or inclination to craft an entire language with a dictionary's worth of words and complex grammatical rules, and that's where conslangs come in. Like conlangs, a conslang also allows you to bring the specifics of the setting into your dialogue and characters. But you don't have to invent and keep track of grammar rules, a new alphabet, or an entire dictionary of seventh person conjugating ablative whatevers. A conslang is like a creole, created specifically for your fictional world, usually made up of in-world idioms, slang words, swear words, and the occasional invented word. Conslangs come with a bunch of benefits. Because your conslang is a creole, it can be understood from context. The audience gets the gist of what's being said without having to add clunky translations. Conslangs also allow you to include informal speech patterns without breaking immersion. In a medieval fantasy world, you can't say, "It's not exactly rocket science," but you can say, "It's not exactly arcane ardulation." It gets the meaning across. And conslangs are also used to dodge swear words while still allowing characters to curse, which is really useful for some age groups and some media, like TV and audio dramas. So now you know how shiny a conslang can be, let's get the frack on with creating one. Start by thinking about the world your characters experience. Is it high-tech future or medieval-filled magic? Your genre and cultures should dictate what kind of slang emerges. A pirate world might use sea-based idioms. A spacefaring world might use airlock as a verb to dispose of something or someone. You can also tailor your slang to a character's background. A spacefighter pilot will use different slang to a moisture farmer from Tatooine, and that's great for characterization. Another great approach for conslangs is to use real-world language modified to make it feel unique. This could involve blending words, truncating them, or tweaking their meaning, things like shortening technology to tech, or radiation to rads in a post-apocalyptic setting. Portmanteaus, that is, shoving two words together, are also a great way to convey meaning in a fresh way. Examples include Robocop, doublespeak, and confusticate. That last one is from Tolkien. Swear words are another rich spot for conslangs. They often come from cultural taboos or common frustrations, and they're a great way to inject setting into your dialogue. So, start by considering what's offensive or taboo in your world setting. Many swear words are related to religion, so this can be a good place to start and a great way to feature your pantheon. A common fantasy formula is deity plus a body part, such as Odin's eye patch. That was a close call. I personally love these. Add your favorite to the comments, and why not give this video a like while you're down there? Or what about struggles from everyday life? In a desert world, an insult might be calling someone a sun-addled fool. In space, that might translate to oxy-lacking. Both give a clear sense of setting to your dialogue. Next up is idioms. They're great for conslangs. Your characters might say, "as cursed as the black sword of Istralar," for a dangerous mountain or a road. Or describe a tight space as not enough room to swing a repair drone. When creating idioms, make phrases that stem from your world's history and legends, its monsters and its technology. What comparisons would your characters make when they want to describe something as beautiful, terrifying, tiny, or huge? And make sure you write your conslang down. Even if you have the best brain in the universe, and maybe you do, at some point you will forget your gorgeous idioms and phrases. On World Anvil, create a language template where you can write as much or as little of the fictional language as you want. And if you're not already an Anvilite, go create a free account and start crafting your own conslang right now. World Anvil is an award-winning set of world-building tools that helps you build out your world's unique voice. I made it with my husband, and we both use it for our own professional world building and writing work, along with 3 million other world builders as well. My next tip for conslangs is keep it simple. Both conlangs and conslangs can be overwhelming if dumped too quickly on unsuspecting players and readers. So once you've created and written down your conslang words and phrases, Don't drown your audience in them. Sprinkle conslang words sparingly to avoid losing your audience, and repeat key phrases to help them remember and identify with them. They'll be muttering them to themselves in no time. And of course, test it out. Try your new words and phrases in different sentences, and ask others if they catch the meaning too. The last thing you want is for your conslang to sound silly or be unintelligible in context. And also, sometimes things can sound rude by accident. Read it aloud, maybe to others, to make sure you don't accidentally set off anybody's snigger trigger. Do you have any favourite conslang phrases? Let me know in the comments, and please drop us a like to vroom up the algo. There's even more tips in the blog linked in the description if you want more. But for now, by Thor's might, grab thy hammerator and go world build.